Well, hi everybody. Good to be with you again. I suppose that among my readers and viewers, there are varying views on God, or on faith, on salvation, and other related topics. And I'm glad for all of you who hang with my posts anyway, especially if you don't agree some of the time. Remember, I've had a kidney transplant, so I'm on anti-rejection meds. I'm good, and I value our connection. However, I've often thought through the implications for those who suggest that there is no God, or perhaps they follow an unknown, maybe real, maybe not God that has little time to do with everyday life or how it's best lived, and that God doesn't offer guidelines to make life work best. So what I want to do today is just simply put out there several what if there is no God results that we would have to admit must happen and then live with every day during the rest of our life. What would that be like? Well, see what you think. I've got 5 to consider. If there's no God, meanings of all the words would be diminished, especially those descriptive words. See, they'd only infer what the people using them want them to infer. For example, words like love or justice or happiness or kindness or fairness and more would just have their core stripped away into something one person calls one thing and someone else defines it differently. That'd be a mess. I don't know what we'd do with that. Second, this life would be it. Because without God, it's all there is. So we ought to just eat, drink, and be merry, get all we can get, because there'd be no more. And should tragedy cause great loss, God forbid, a loved one, say, dying far too early, then there is no hope for ever seeing them again. Life beyond the grave just wouldn't exist, because nothing in this life then would ultimately satisfy, and everything here would just be imperfect. It's never enough, so it's over. Third, there'd be no greater wisdom for how to live life to the fullest. When we buy a car or computer or most any new thing, doesn't it come with, or you go online to get an owner's manual? Yeah, the maker of the product knows how it works best, that makes sense, and tells the new owner how to get the most out of what they've made. So if there is a God who's made us, then the owner's manual would be the Bible. And it would be that guide for not only how to live, but to give meaning to those words I mentioned in the first point, and we'll talk about a couple more in a minute. Fourth, there will be no explanation for how we or our world and the universe got here. I mean, how would we explain what science calls infinity? They believe in it. What math also requires to perform even simple calculus, infinity, and what our universe appears to reside in, infinity, but all without an infinite being? What would explain the ultimate beginnings of everything without a beginner? And fifth, we just have no significant purpose or value on this earth. We'd just be here by chance. There would be a lot more unanswerable or hard to answer questions such as, why then are we here? Is it all just chance, randomness? Are those just chemical reactions fueled by years of cosmic natural accidents? Really? See, that means my kids and your kids, those we love and care for, are just scientific productions of a bunch of arbitrary, accidental body and mind interactions and calculations. And how would we even define an accident or an arbitrary event when we have no basis for those either? So what's my point? Well, it's to introduce some of you and remind others to the implications of having no God and how they simply don't make any sense in the world and life that we now live. It only makes sense that there must be some sort of basic, unchanging truth that people naturally look to for a life beyond that brings hope, where the wisdom exists that's central to most cultures' basic rules, that people know they didn't get here by accident, and more importantly, have a purpose and value in being here. See, Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except by me. And when it's all said and done, the Christian faith, including the Bible, its explanation of creation and God's provision of a way to be part of his family through Jesus, basically answers all the questions in some way or another. In John chapter 10, verse 10, Jesus said, I have come that they, the world, us, might have life and have it to the fullest or abundantly. See, that right there explains so much more than us just being these random cosmic accidents that have happened over and over. Now again, you may still disagree with me and you're thinking, yeah, what I believe still makes sense. Well, okay, whatever you think. But would you give my 5 points just a little more thought? Because this isn't just a public opinion issue. It's the foundation for our life, for our purpose, for our value, and for our future. I'd say that's worth another look. And if you have already agreed, then keep being thankful, live according to the owner's manual, and serve other people. Whatever you decide, don't act on it for me. Do it for you.